Hey everybody, welcome back to Brainiac Baseball's 1981 Detroit Tigers season replay. Today's matchup is between the Detroit Tigers and the Boston Red Sox at Fenway Park. On the mound for Detroit is Dave Rozema, whose record is 11-3 with a 2.95 ERA. And pitching for the Red Sox today is Bruce Hurst, whose record is 5-9 with a 3.78 ERA. And so we hung on yesterday to get a victory. A great job by Jerry Uger, winning his third game in a row and finishing off his season with a flourish. So we do remain still in the hunt. We have today and tomorrow left as far as our games go. And it looks like the Yankees still have 5 games, including today's game, and the Red Sox have 4. So it doesn't look good for us. I say that every time, but we still managed to hang in there. I do believe that if we lose today, we will be eliminated. But I'm just unsure about the mathematics here. I'm sure someone else out there who's smarter than me will be able to figure that out. But I'm just putting it out there that I do believe if we lose today, it will be over. If you saw the title card before this started up here, you'll have noticed that there was a picture of Raleigh Fingers in the middle of the photograph wearing a Boston Red Sox uniform. And you might be thinking, I don't remember Raleigh Fingers ever pitching for the Red Sox. And that's because he didn't. I'm going to share that story coming up here shortly. I won't be able to do it justice in the time frame that we have to work with today. But I will post a link in the description below that you can click on and go to the Baseball Hall of Fame and read that story. It's really fascinating to read it in its entirety, but I'll give you a synopsis of it a little bit later on in the game. So it's going to be challenging today. We're facing a left-hander, Bruce Hurst. We do not do well versus lefties. So we are going to have a lineup of primarily righties in there. If you take a look here, you'll see Dave Rozema's on the mound. He's been struggling the last couple starts, but his ERA still sub-3. All of the bullpen is available. If you watched yesterday's game, you know that we called Dan Petrie back up in relief. He pitched one solid inning yesterday. That gives me some hope for the future. Excuse me. Here is the lineup for today against the left-hander Bruce Hurst. We've got Jeffrey Leonard in right. We've got Bobby Ramos catching with Lance DHing today. Barbaro Garbey is going to get a second straight start at first, and Glenn Wilson will be in left field, giving Gibby the day off. Even though there's only 2 games to go, we still need to try to win. And Gibby is struggling mightily, and I think we'll give the right-handers the go against the lefty Bruce Hurst. So here it is. We're starting the next to last game of the season at Fenway Park. Let's take a look at the lineup for Detroit officially today. We've got Rickey Henderson back there in the leadoff role in center field today. Batting second in right field is going to be Jeffrey Leonard. Batting third at shortstop is Alan Trammell. Batting cleanup and DHing is Lance Parrish. Batting fifth at second base is Sweet Lou Whitaker. Batting sixth and catching is Bobby Ramos. Batting seventh at third base is Tommy Brookens. Batting eighth at first base is Barbaro Garbey. And batting ninth in left field is Glenn Wilson. Here is Bruce Hurst making his 23rd start of the season. 5-9 with that 3.78 ERA. He has 98 strikeouts in 159 innings pitched. And opponents are batting .228 against him, having a great season. He's got 3 complete games. I should say a great season despite his record, as he's trying to keep the Red Sox in the playoff hunt. Have we faced him yet this year? Let's take a look at his log. Yeah, we actually faced him in consecutive starts where we crushed him for 8 runs. Only 3 were earned. And then another no decision in the follow-up game where he went 6 innings and walked 6. So we've had some success against Bruce Hurst. I don't know if we won those games or not in the end. As you take a look at the defensive alignment for the Boston Red Sox today, They have a new catcher that they traded for, and we're going to be seeing Jason Thompson, former Detroit Tiger. We traded over there earlier. Here is Rickey Henderson leading off against Bruce Hurst. 3 for 7 and 3 walks. Slams it into center field, and it's going to be caught by the center fielder, Freddie Lynn. So 1 down. It's going to bring up Jeffrey Leonard. Leonard strikes out looking. Leonard, first start in quite a while. I haven't exactly given up on him, but we try to work in the players who deserve it, and Trammell grounds out to short. So 1-2-3 inning for Hurst. And we're going to head to the bottom of the first inning. Here is the Red Sox lineup for today, batting leadoff. Playing second base is Marty Barrett. Batting second in center field is Fred Lynn. Batting third at third base is Wade Boggs. Batting cleanup in right field is Clint Hurdle. Batting fifth in left field is Jim Rice. Batting sixth at first base is Dave Stapleton. Batting seventh and DHing is Jason Thompson. Batting eighth and catching today is Jon Stearns. And batting ninth at shortstop is Rick Burleson. Pitching for Detroit, Dave Rozema. Best season for any Tiger pitcher this year. He's 11-3, making his 24th start. 2.95 ERA, 161 2/3 innings, 77 Ks. Opponents are batting .230 against him. He's got 3 complete games and 2 shutouts. And he had a really rough outing his last time out. Prior to that, he threw a shutout, getting his 11th win. And we might have taxed his arm maybe a little more than we should have going to that 4-man rotation. So I'm thinking maybe he might be reaching his innings pitched max. As you can see here, he pitched 31 games last year for 168 innings. And he's only making his 24th start for 162, basically. So, maybe we've pushed him a little harder. Maybe, he's a little bit tired. And so I don't know what we'll see out of Rozema, but he's had a good season either way. As you look at the Tigers' defensive alignment with Barbaro and Garbey at first, with the slightly below average defensive rating. And although Glenn Wilson is a 90 rating in right field, he's only an 82 in left field. So Marty Barrett leading off against Dave Rozema. Ground ball by Barrett to Whitaker, and Whitaker tosses him out, so 1 down. Got 3 lefties in a row here, starting with Fred Lynn. Lynn hits a ground ball to Whitaker as well. That's going to bring up Wade Boggs. His average over 300, as you might expect from Wade. And a ground ball that gets past Garbey. Boggs has himself a double. So runner in scoring position for Clint Hurdle. We'll show you him real quick. He came over in a trade mid-season and is now their cleanup hitter who has yet to hit a home run for the Red Sox. I don't know how that works, but nonetheless, he's 0 for 2 in his career against Rosie. And he's going to shoot it right off the wall for a hit. Boggs scores. It's a double. And it's 1-0 Boston. Yeah, Rosie, I think he's reached his end as Jim Rice steps in and he hits a home run to right. Well, I don't want to go out like this. It's kind of a bummer as Rice hits his 10th home run. Only his 10th home run on the season in 368 at-bats. That doesn't make any sense. So 2 down. This is all with 2 outs. A double-double and a home run. As Stapleton grounds out to Garbey to end the inning. So the Red Sox put 3 quick ones on the board. We go to the top of the second. Here's Lance Parrish leading off. And he strikes out. That's the second K for Hurst. Next up is Whitaker. He's a lefty, batting against a lefty. The only lefty in the lineup that we've kept in there for today. And he flies out to left. And that's going to bring up Bobby Ramos. Ground ball to second base. And that's an infield single. There we go. You can always count on Ramos for getting on base. So, 2 down. Ramos on first. Here's Tommy Brookens. And Brookens pops it up into foul ground. And the play is made by Wade Boggs. So we go to the bottom of the second inning. We have JT due up. And then the newly acquired catcher Stearns, followed by Burleson. So here's JT. I know everyone wants to look and see his stats since the trade. Not so good. Opponents. He's batting 176. More walks than strikeouts. And 1 home run. 6 RBIs in 23 games, whereas he had 64 in 75 as a Tiger. So, struggling. He is a free agent at the end of the season, which is why we let him go. Seems like that was a good idea, as he grounds out to Trammell. Next up is Jon Stearns. He came over from the Mets. And he's a catcher that's got speed, not so much in this game. I mean, he's no Rickey Henderson, but he's at least among the league leaders in stolen bases in 1978. Okay, so 1 down. Here is Jon Stearns. Ground ball to Trammell. And Tram tosses him out. So 2 quick outs for Rick Burleson. And Burleson slams it into right center field. And that's the 3rd double for the Red Sox today. And it's only the 2nd inning. Oh, boy. And then Barrett follows up with the exact same location. 4 runs are in. And it's looking pretty grim for Rosie. Striking out Freddie Lynn. They put another run on the board. It is 4-0. And we go to the top of the 3rd. I'll tell you that Raleigh Figures story in the bottom half of this inning, which will be here momentarily, as Garbey flies out to center. With 1 down, Glenn Wilson steps in. Most likely our right fielder next year, as he lines out to right field. It's going to bring up Rickey. Rickey walks. We're going to try to have him steal. Why not? Hey! There's his first stolen base in like 2 weeks. So Henderson is on second. Let's see if Leonard can drive him in. Nope. Popping it up into foul ground, maybe right there on the first base line. And that is the 3rd out. So here we are, bottom of the 3rd. We got 3, 4, and 5 up, Boggs, Hurdle, and Rice. And I'll just pause for a moment to tell you this story about Raleigh Fingers in that Boston Red Sox uniform. So at the beginning of the 1976 season, the owner, Charlie Finley, knowing that free agency was coming up for the first time ever at the end of the 1976 season, traded away Reggie Jackson. Now, they'd already won 3 World Series in a row. And so they traded away Reggie Jackson and Ken Holtzman to Baltimore. And so they were preparing for another 6 players to leave. He wasn't going to try to re-sign them. What he was hoping to do is to get rid of them, and whatever money they saved, they would, jump into free agency with a boatload of cash. And so Charlie Finley decided that he was going to sell Joe Rudi and Raleigh Fingers to Boston for $1 million. And the very same day, Joe Rudi and Raleigh Fingers to Boston for $1 million each, so $2 million total. And then he also sent Vita Blue to the Yankees for $1.5 million on the very same day. So the Red Sox and the A's were playing each other in Oakland. So basically, Joe Rudi and Raleigh Fingers just had to go to the opposing clubhouse. So the day that happened, a Topps baseball card photographer, a famous one by the last name of Mick Williams, happened to be there. It was a night game, and he was actually instructed to not take any photographs at night, only during the day, because the nighttime photographs for baseball cards typically don't work out so well. And so he was there early in the afternoon as the trade happened, and Joe Rudi and Raleigh Fingers went into the clubhouse, came out in their uniforms, and Mick Williams snapped this famous picture now of Raleigh Fingers in a Boston Red Sox uniform. Later that afternoon, Bowie Kuhn, the commissioner, had found out about this sale of Rudy and Fingers in Vita Blue, and he immediately got together a group of people, including Marvin Miller, who was the Players Association representative, and Steinbrenner and Charlie Finley. And basically, he did not officially nix the trade, but he did put it on hold until he could gather more information, because this was kind of unprecedented in Major League Baseball. And to just quickly wrap this story up, 3 days passed before Kuhn officially nixed the trade, and all the players had to go back to their original teams. Oakland was playing without 3 players for those 3 days. Boston and the Yankees, they just left the newly acquired players off the roster. Because, Finley was basically, saying, hey, this is a done deal. We've already traded. Everybody agreed to it. He did not expect it to be rescinded. And so, at any rate, I'm going to post the story in the description below, and you can go ahead and read the full-length version of it from the Baseball Hall of Fame page. But for 3 days, Raleigh Fingers was officially a Boston Red Sox player, and that photograph is the proof of it. So pretty darn cool. As Wade Boggs leads off the bottom of the third with a base hit. That's 6 hits against Rozema. And I think we're going to be bringing in Dan Petrie here in a moment. Yeah, that's it. Okay. Well, so unfortunately, Rozema's ruined his ERA. It's over 3, and I feel bad about that. I wish he could have finished with a sub 3 ERA, and he's responsible for those 2 runners on, so it could get worse here before it gets better. We're going to bring in Dan Petrie. Pitched yesterday and did a really great job just pitching the 1 inning. With his ratings, he should be a lights out pitcher, but he's been struggling really since we brought him up last year, and we put him in the rotation right out of spring training both seasons that we've simulated, and he's been terrible, as you can see there. So we're going to pull the infield in. We're going to try not to give up any more runs. May not be something we can avoid, but Rice will pop it up on the infield, and Sweet Lou will make the play. So there's 1 down. It's going to bring up the all-star Dave Stapleton. He started at first base in the all-star game, even after Boston received Thompson, who was who's DHing, and he was the Gold Glove winner last year. Stapleton hits a fly ball to right. That's going to be deep enough to score. Oh, it's not going to score. Boggs. Wow, we might get out of this. So runners at second and third, 2 down, and Petrie maybe working his way out of this. He's got to face JT. Of course, first time these former teammates have faced each other. He walks him. Maybe a good decision. Let's walk the lefty, get to Stearns, the righty. Stearns is batting .250 versus right-handers. Oh, nuts. That's a base hit to left. 2 runs are going to score, and it's 6-0. Sorry, Rosie. We pushed him too hard, and then Petrie strikes out Burleson to get out of the inning. So it's 6-0. This is a terrible way to end the season. As Trammell, hey, there we go. Base hit up the middle. Trammell creeping his average back up there at 303 now. Runner on first. I'm not going to try to hit and run or anything. Let's just swing away and try to maybe get a home run here. Work our way back into it as Parrish is going to pop out to first base foul grounds. 1 down. Here's Sweet Lou. Ground ball to second. That could be 2. Unbelievable. So this is at least not as bad as last year. If you remember last season, if you followed along since we've been doing this, we started just dropping like flies at the end of August, and then September, we didn't even win 10 games. We fell completely out of the race as Petrie walks the leadoff batter, and we finished more than 10 games out. So we have improved our positioning, this season. It's just not going to be good enough to, I think overcome the three teams in front of us. As Wade Boggs hits a ground ball to first. And we turn two. Good job by Petrie. First goose egg on the board so far today. So here's Bobby Ramos. He had a base hit, infield single, his first time up. And he hits a ground ball to short, which is booted by the shortstop, Burleson. So the leadoff man is on. It's going to bring up Brookens, 0 for 9 against Hurst. Batting 189 versus left-handers. He's in a horrible late-season swoon. Batting 215 overall. Yep, there's a double play there. So 2 down for Barbaro, Garbey. And Garbey strikes out. Bruce Hurst looking good on the mound. As we go to the bottom of the 5th, here is Clint Hurdle leading off the bottom of the 5th. Striking out. 2 Ks for Petrie to go with his 2 walks. Jim Rice cranks it to left and falls in for a hit. 9 hits for Boston today. Boston, still has a chance to win the division, so that team is not giving up. As Stapleton flies out to center for the second out. That's going to bring up JT, who Petrie walked in his last plate appearance, and he pops out here for the third out. So back-to-back shutout innings for Petrie. Glenn Wilson leading off the 6th by grounding out. Rickey Henderson popping it up to second. There's 2 down. And Jeff Leonard jacks it into the left field. What are those, the bleachers? What are they called? They're just like stands up there. I don't think they actually call them bleachers above the Green Monster. I guess they're just the seats up there. So great job by Leonard. That's his 3rd home run of the season. 3 home runs and 117 at-bats. I expect more from him. But he's making himself known that he wants that right field job. 2 down. There's going to be a ton of positions open for next season. So we do have that to look forward to as Trammell flies out. We're going to let Petrie pitch one more inning. With Jon Stearns up, 8, 9, and 1 due up. I mean, we basically have 2 rotation positions available as Petrie strikes out Stearns. We're going to have right field available as Burleson pops to right. We have at least, in my opinion, we have a lot of relievers vying for 2 or 3 positions in the bullpen. And then Marty Barrett flies right. Good job by Petrie. Might keep him in for one more inning. Lance Parrish leading off the 7th inning. Tigers are down by 5. As Parrish flies out to center. So there is a lot that's going to be on the line for next season. I mean, really, we have third base open. Brookens clearly has not earned it, defensively or offensively. So who knows there as Hurst strikes out Whitaker for the 4th K. It's going to bring it up Bobby Ramos. Been on base both times. Base hit and safe on an error. And there's a hit down the right field line. Ramos will definitely be the backup catcher for next year as he finds himself standing on second. And then Tommy Brookens. Brookens is going to arbitration as he walks, so he might be a sign and trade for next year. It's going to depend upon how much they're asking. I mean, we only have Mickey Hatcher available, so maybe there'll be someone on the free agent market. I don't know. As Garbey grounds out to short, and that'll do it. So we got 3 lefties due up. We're going to take out Petrie. Did a good job. Got his ERA down to 5.22. He won't be pitching tomorrow after going those 4 innings today. So we're going to bring in Keith Comstock and give him a chance to bring down his ERA. Comstock, again, was really great last year. This year, he just had a couple outings where he gave up a ton of runs and been trying to work his way back to the majors. And here he is facing some lefties here. Boggs flying out to the Green Monster. For the second out, it's going to bring up Clint Hurdle. Striking out looking. So good job by Keith Comstock. We go to the top of the 8th. Glenn Wilson leading off. Fly ball to the warning track. Caught at the Green Monster by the left fielder Jim Rice. One down. Back to Rickey Henderson. Henderson is, he's only 22 years old, so maybe his skill set will develop more next season. I don't know. But I've never been more disappointed by a free agent signing as Leonard grounds out. Now, we traded for Carlton Fisk and Gary Hancock last year from Boston. And Carlton Fisk was just trash. He was unplayable. We ended up trading him to Oakland at the beginning of this season. We're not going to let Comstock pitch. We're going to take him out. And we're going to bring in our former closer, Tom Hume, who we have for 2 more years, and he's been pretty bad down this little bit of a stretch drive. As Rice is going to bloop one in. Oh, it's going to be caught by Henderson. There we go. Good job. One down. So, I don't really know what to do with Rickey Henderson. He's not good enough to be a leadoff guy. And Hume gets Thompson to ground out to second. And this is it. Our season has come down to these 3 final batters. Randy St. Clair is coming in. He's a rookie for Boston. He must have came over from Montreal. He's been pretty bad. Gives up a lot of hits, walks a lot of guys. How did they get him? A trade with Montreal. They sent Jim Dwyer over there. And let's see. Now, the Red Sox have 3 major injuries right now. They have Dennis Eckersley's out. Bob Ojeda out, and Oil Can Boyd is out. So they're missing 2 starting pitchers and their closer. So maybe that's why they've kind of struggled a little bit. As Trammell not giving up, probably our team MVP. I'm going to give you guys 4 options for that. I'll let you vote for the team MVP. And in my mind, it's going to be Trammell, but we can make cases for other players. So Trammell is on first. We are going to take out Parrish, and we're going to bring in Reggie. Reggie is due as Trammell's on first. Let's see if Reggie's got anything left in the tank. Slapping it to left field for a base hit. Trammell standing on third. Okay, so we're going to take out the slow as molasses Reggie. And we're going to bring in Mark Wagner at first. With Sweet Lou up, we're going to hit and run. This game's not over. It's first and third. Nobody out. Lou strikes, misses, and Wagner is thrown out. That is a microcosm of the whole season. I was going to say magnacosm. I don't think that's an actual word. Maybe I was thinking of orgasm also. I don't know. Ground ball by Whitaker. Trammell's going to score. Added 6-2. All right, well, I like I like Bobby Ramos in this position. We're going to stall just for a second and take a look at how good he's been for us. 33 hits and 87 at-bats. He's got 8 doubles in that limited duty. He came out of the gates just firing for us. And definitely earned his role for next year. Had a base hit to center field. It is alive as we're not going to have him stretch it into a double. Oh, no. We're not leaving it up to Brookens. We got a bench full of lefties. We're going to bring in Gary Hancock, who's in his final few at-bats as a Tiger. 2 down. Ramos on first. Game on the line. And he gets a base hit to left. All right. Well, Garbey, we're taking him out for, I think we have to give this at bat to Gibby. We can always move Brock in there. So first and second, 2 down, 4 hits given up by Randy St. Clair. Here we go. Gibson, 0-2 count. Base hit up the middle. Will Ramos score? He does score. And we are one swing of the bat away from tying this game up. And we're not leaving it up to Glenn Wilson. We are going to bring in our last batter, a lefty, Greg Brock. He does have some power. He has a ton of power, but it hasn't developed yet, I don't think. If you look at his gap power, that's below average. So he could hit a home run. And if you remember, he hit a home run in his very first at-bat as a Detroit Tiger. So it comes down to this. Really, just keep it going. Get it to Henderson. Oh, he yanks it. He yaks it. And that's the ball game. Tigers lose 6-3. That is the season, I believe. Let's take a look at the standings. We are eliminated. Well, that's sad. But you know what? It was all right. We had a damn good year. We got one more game to go tomorrow. We're going to play the playoffs in a separate video. And then we will have another video where we will do the leaders. And we will do the off-season free agency signing and all that crap. And then we're going to take a hiatus. So at any rate, let's take a look at the transactions, make sure no one else got injured. Of note, Alan Bannister from Atlanta is done. And, let's look at the standings and look at, the West. Texas hanging in there. It is down to a half game to go, and there's still 4 games here and 1 game more for California to play and 4 games more for Minnesota. So 2 games for Texas. So there's still some games to be played. So that might not be decided even tomorrow. Boston jumps into the lead as the Yankees lost too. So the Boston half game up on New York. Let's pull up the box score and get out of here. Thanks for watching, guys. I appreciate the dedication. I will give my thanks in full tomorrow for the final game of the 1981 season. In real life, today was the All-Star game in the 1981 season as he began the second half of the 81 season today. So, player of the game, we're going to give it to Bobby Ramos because he's the bomb. 3 for 4 today. Good job by him. Rickey did get a stolen base. Nice job as well. My condolences to Dave Rozema's excellent season as he yaks it, gives up 6 runs in 2 innings pitched, never had it. Gave up 7 hits. His ERA balloons to 3.24. Petrie, great job making a case for maybe the number 5 position in the for the starting rotation, and the bullpen otherwise did it okay. So Bruce Hurst gets the win. He is 6-9 on the season. Jeffrey Leonard getting his 3rd home run. So that's it. We're going to come back tomorrow with the season finale. Until then, everyone have a great night.